States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Chandler? Here. Mr. Price?
Here.
Ms. Gum? Here. Mr. Castellan?
Here.
Ms. Cooper? Here. Mr. DeCuja?
Here.
Mr. Zupansik?
Here.
Mr. Mahakis?
Here.
Mr. Benias?
Here.
9 present.
Anyone is filming or recording, please give your name and address to the recording secretary.
Carissa Boyer, 529 Hunting Creek Road.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the address.
529 Hunting Creek Road.
Hey, Chloe. Bring your daughter with you.
Anna's out there at track or at soccer, so I figured I'd come in.
Frank, can we get her name and address, please?
Darlene.
Darlene Barney,
Address, thank you.
Cecil Township Supervisor, 49, State Route 980.
Thank you. The board met in executive session to discuss personal matters tonight prior to this meeting. And we now have citizens speak.
Tiffany?
Okay. Yeah. Before you start, we try to keep these to 3 minutes,
Sure.
please. Thank you.
It's actually probably gonna be under a minute.
Okay.
So I've been following this. I have a senior and a freshman, incoming freshman who play baseball. So I kind of went back and looked through the board meeting minutes as well as the budget and finance. And I saw that the returfing, if you will, of the baseball and softball fields was approved back in October of 2021. Comes about, I come last week, you rejected the bid, I get it, it was over budget. Our question, and I'm representing, I guess, the booster board, if you will, is when will this go out for bid again? And when do we foresee that that job will be finished? So that's really, that's pretty much what it boils down to. We have a great influx of 8th and 9th graders who have joined the team, and we would really like for them to have a space as they matriculate through. And so that's it. I'm not here to get my pitchfork out or anything. I just want to make sure that we can be of assistance or help or whatever we can do to help the situation. Because as I went through all of the board minutes, it appeared that you did what you needed to do, and it was what it was. But we're just looking forward for this to happen because we're a 6A school, and that situation up there is a disappointment. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Need a motion to adopt tonight's agenda? So moved. By Joe, second. Second by Bernie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on to reports and presentations, Mr. Volcano.
Quick, passing around a little recap of our spring season. I'm not going to read everything on there, just to give you some highlights of our spring sports season. We had 6 teams make the playoffs this past spring. It was really good spring for us. Some of the major highlights of the spring season, our boys track team was section champs. They had a boy Winfield champ in 2 events, which was really great. And that same person also, Chris Davis, also placed in the state tournament. So really represented us well there. And on the girls' side, Rose Cachero was also a 2-time Winfield champ this year in both hurdles and triple jump. And we had multiple medalists at the state level as well in the girls' track. And boys volleyball, we were co-champs. The last game of the year we lost, or we were then section champs alone, but that was our first section championship with boys volleyball in schools. So co-section champs, but they get a banner on it. So pretty good season. We're just gearing up for the fall season.
Frank, any questions for Frank? Grace?
So this past month, the curriculum committee, the board met, and you will be adopting tonight the minutes from that particular meeting. If you have any questions of those minutes, I'll be happy to answer them. We also, on the agenda, is that new textbook that I had pulled last month, but it's AMSCO. It's an advanced placement edition called United States Government and Politics. It is for the college and the high school course at the high school called American Politics. That is a course that we partner with the University of Pittsburgh. Students that take this particular course then could get college credit if they meet all of the requirements that go along within the course. So hopefully that you will approve that. Last week, I think Mr. Chambers mentioned that the two of us were in the process of completing Title I, Title II, and Title IV. We ended up completing that within the last 2 days, and we got some reports back that we need to upload, and Mr. Daniels will be approving and forwarding, submitting those grants. And it was good that we got it in before our, it's not a deadline of July 1st, we always try to shoot for July 1st because that's when our fiscal year begins. Today I was over at North Strabane. There were over today and tomorrow. This is the first time ever that we have been offering summer professional development courses for our teachers to sign up to and take. And over 50 teachers are taking advantage of that between today's session and tomorrow's session. So I was there all day today. Our presenter is one of our own teachers. She spoke on many lessons and text-dependent analysis, and it was very well received. And looking forward to tomorrow's session as well at the high school regarding how to teach difficult subjects like genocide and Holocaust, which we're required to be able to do. In 2 weeks, the summer reading program that I've mentioned before will start back up with kindergarten students. We have over 23 students at this point in time. I extended it off with over 75 families, children, and right now we have about 25 signed up. I'm going to push it out again, but we're going to hold it no matter because we think it's important to get those kids. And if you recall, I used the last cadence or data assessment that we give to our students 3 times a year, and use that last assessment of the school year. I analyzed that and I put it in order of ranking order of percentile. So the children that fall at the lowest percentiles get offered that summer time slot to come to summer reading. And the curriculum for summer reading aligns totally with what we're doing in kindergarten and first and second grade with the science of reading. Next week, I'm going to be having an induction plan committee that we need to formulate and to review our induction plan, because we have to do that every few years. A few things changed. I think Mr. Chambers updated you this past weekend that the induction legislation has changed. The program has increased to a 2-year plan. We have to add ethics to the plan, to the program. We've always included ethics. We need to add cultural awareness. We need to add Act 13, which I included this year on teacher evaluation. And then we need to add some aspects of the science of reading. So that committee will look at that plan, make suggestions, and then it'll be put on display, and you'll be able to see it for 30 days. And then as the comp plan, it'll be part of the comp plan that you'll be voting on in the future. And then we're actively planning the new teacher orientation that we have every year. So the first 3 days before teachers have to start, all new teachers that have been hired by the district have to come for 3 days. And they have 3 full days of activities, and I have all different administrators coming in to teach them different topics, from classroom management to Act 26 training to writing lesson plans, and then Act 13 and so on. So it might seem like it should be quiet in the summer, but it really is not. We'll keep moving and moving forward. So I think that would be my report. Any questions? Yes.
Ms. Laney, I'm reading minutes from curriculum construction meeting we had. Under the topic sex education, it indicates that there was some dissatisfaction about sex education being taught in the district. Indicates that currently, you expect the district currently uses a teen outreach organization in Washington to talk to students about many topics related to sex education. some dissatisfaction with the program. I think this is the type of principals were in charge of finding a replacement. I'm assuming that meant principals in charge of finding a replacement. What was the dissatisfaction and what kind of replacement
So-
are we seeking, and how is that different than what we're doing now?
Sure, so years ago, if you recall, Mary Jo
The Jersey.
Thank you, sorry, ran the program for our teachers at the middle school and oftentimes at the high school. The board was not happy with that particular organization, and then I believe the middle school principal with Mr. Daniels was charged with trying to find a replacement. And because of that, they reached out to this other organization, and that's, so the question came up from one of the committee members, how do we teach sex education? Who does it? Do we do it? And so that's why that discussion ensued. And I said it is definitely the purview of the board if you were to want to change to another organization. I did bring it up at my IU meeting. Every month I go to an IU curriculum meeting, and this past week I brought it up to see if anybody uses anybody else, because that was one of the questions that my committee had asked, and so that was the very beginning part. And almost every district that was in attendance at my curriculum meeting used Mary Jo University. So they, actually, most of them said, we don't know if there's anybody else to do it. So we do have this other organization that does it, and
What's the other organization?
Was it in the minutes there? I'm sorry. No, it's not Teen Outreach. I apologize, I don't know.
Teen Outreach is Mary Jo's.
Yeah, that's Mary Jo's group. I don't recall, I apologize, the name. But a number of years ago, about 2 or 3 parents complained. And so I know that I looked into it, and Mr. Daniels looked into it to make sure that there's opt-outs still in place. There are. Made sure that that organization wasn't handing out flyers to advertise other things that they do. They only come in and they have a set agenda, and that's an agreement that the board voted on the agreement with them. Correct, Mr. Daniels?
Yeah, that's true.
So I apologize, I can get you the name of that by
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I'm just wondering, because it looks like there's action item from the committee to charge the principals with finding a replacement.
No, that's what they.
Principals of the
In the
committee.
past, that was, the principals were charged with helping to find somebody to replace Teen Outreach.
It's just not.
Okay.
Real choices.
Real choices, thank you, Mary.